Let's review the trig reduction formula. For the first quadrant, let's label as alpha, or alpha plus 2 pi times n. N is integers. For unit circle, this is 0, this is pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. For the first quadrant, we also use pi over 2 minus alpha to represent the angle in the first quadrant. The second quadrant, it will be pi over 2 plus alpha, or pi minus alpha. Third quadrant, pi plus alpha, or 3 pi over 2 minus alpha. For fourth quadrant, 3 pi over 2 plus alpha, or 2 pi minus alpha, or negative alpha. Remember, all students take calculus. The first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and a fourth quadrant. While you're dealing with pi over 2 or 3 pi over 2, we will get its cofunction, which means sine go to cosine, or cosine go to sine. Tangent go to cotangent, or cotangent go to tangent. Secant go to cosecant, or cosecant go to secant. If we are dealing with the pi or 2 pi or negative alpha, trig function will be the same. For example, sine pi over 2 plus alpha. First step, decide the quadrant. Pi over 2 plus alpha is in second quadrant. Sine in second quadrant is a positive. Since pi over 2 plus alpha, we got to get its cofunction, cosine alpha. For tangent, pi plus alpha. The third quadrant, tangent in third quadrant is a positive. Since dealing with pi, we will get the same trig function equals positive tangent alpha. Cosine 3 pi over 2 minus alpha. We do know 3 pi over 2 minus alpha go to the third quadrant. Cosine in third quadrant, it's a negative. Since dealing with the 3 pi over 2, we will get its cofunction. Cofunction for cosine is sine alpha. Let's try sine 2 pi minus alpha. The fourth quadrant, sine in fourth quadrant will be negative. Dealing with the 2 pi, it will be the same trig function, so sine alpha. For cosine negative alpha, fourth quadrant, cosine in fourth quadrant is a positive cosine alpha. Then for sine negative alpha equals fourth quadrant, sine in fourth quadrant is a negative sine alpha. Tangent negative alpha. Tangent in the fourth quadrant is a negative tangent alpha. These three trig formulas are called even odd formula. We will use this formula to decide the function is even or odd. Cosine is an even function. Graph will be reflected across the y-axis. For sine and a tangent, they are odd functions. The graph are symmetric about the origin. Use the cofunction formula to find x. What's the cofunction formula? Trig reduction formula. We do know sine 90 degree minus alpha equals cosine alpha. Cosine 90 degree minus alpha equals sine alpha. Tangent 90 degree minus alpha equals cotangent alpha, and so on. Therefore, for first question, secant 2 pi over 5 equals cosecant x. We will use pi over 2 minus 2 pi over 5 to get this x. X equals pi over 2 minus 2 pi over 5. Cross multiply. Denominator multiply is 10. Pi times 5 is 5 pi minus 2 times 2 is 4 pi. 5 pi minus 4 pi is pi. For second question, we will do the same thing. X equals pi over 2 minus pi over 3. Denominator is 6. 3 pi minus 2 pi is pi. So x equals pi over 6. Let's go to more examples. Simplify each trig function by using trig reduction formula. First one, sine negative 5 pi minus x. First of all, we need to change negative 5 pi into quadrantal angles in a unit circle. We do know sine alpha plus 2 pi times n, when n is integers, equals sine alpha. For sine negative 5 pi minus x, add 6 pi. Because sine alpha plus 6 pi equals sine alpha equals sine pi minus x. We will count this x as the reference angle. Pi minus x go to the second quadrant. All students take calculus. So pi minus x is in second quadrant. Sine in second quadrant is a positive. Then the same trig function, sine x. Let's go to number 2. Cosine x plus 3 pi over 2. 3 pi over 2 is here. Plus x go to the fourth quadrant. Cosine in fourth quadrant is a positive. Since dealing with 3 pi over 2, we will get is a cofunction. That is a sine x. Let's go to number 3. This equals sine x minus pi over 2 plus 2 pi. So we get sine 3 pi over 2 plus x. Fourth quadrant. Sine in fourth quadrant is a negative. 3 pi over 2 go to cofunction, cosine x. Let's go to number 4, tangent 3 pi plus x. We will change 3 pi into quadrantal angles from 0 to 2 pi. So tangent 3 pi plus x I minus even pi, that is 2 pi, equals tangent pi plus x. The third quadrant, tangent in third quadrant is positive because all students take calculus. Dealing with pi, we will get the same trig function, tangent x. Let's go to number 5. Tangent theta minus 180 degree plus tangent theta plus 180 degree. Theta minus 180 degree, I add 360 degree. So we get tangent theta plus 180 degree, then plus tangent theta plus 180 degree. 180 degree plus theta go to the third quadrant. Since dealing with the 180 degree, we will get the same trig function. Tangent in third quadrant is a positive tangent theta, then plus tangent theta equals 2 tangent theta. Let's go to number 6. Sine 90 degree plus theta plus sine 90 degree minus theta. This is a 90 degree as a quadrantal angles. 90 degree minus theta in the first quadrant. 90 degree plus theta in the second quadrant. All students take calculus. Sine in the second quadrant still positive. Since dealing with the 90 degree, we will get its co-function, cosine theta plus 90 degree minus theta is in the first quadrant, still positive cosine theta equals 2 cosine theta. Let's go to question 7. Cosine negative x minus cosine 3 pi plus x. Negative x is in the fourth quadrant. We will count x as a reference angle. Cosine in fourth quadrant, that is a positive cosine x. Then minus 3 pi plus x, we need to change into the quadrantal angle in a unit circle. So we minus 2 pi. That is cosine pi plus x. Pi plus x go to the third quadrant. Cosine in third quadrant is a negative. So we have cosine x minus negative cosine x. Negative negative is a positive. So we get 2 cosine x. For number 8, fourth quadrant, sine in fourth quadrant is a negative sine x plus 3 pi minus x. I need to minus 2 pi so that we will change 3 pi into the quadrantal angle in a unit circle. Sine pi minus x equals negative sine x. Pi minus x in the second quadrant. Sine in second quadrant is a positive sine x. Negative sine x plus sine x is a 0.